in your book, you have often used the expression being in the world, but not of the world. What does this mean?
Okay. To be in the world, or I could say to be successfully in the world, as successfully means surviving, not getting rich. To be in the world is to understand the social norms of your culture and to survive. If you need food, you get a job, make some money, and buy it. You don't steal it. And you look. So being in the world, but the underlying idea is that being in the world, you're accepting this as the ultimate reality. That the material world is the reality. Period. Uh, So that's where the of, say, being in the world is knowing how to survive in a practical level. And being of the world is accepting it as the reality, the only reality. Okay, am I clear on that? Now, spiritual growth makes us in the world, but not of it. So we still have to be practical. In fact, Sigmund Freud pointed out that the development of the ego, the low ego, is very important because you learn how to survive in your culture. And often in spiritual circles, they talk about you got to kill the ego. I don't believe that. You got to kill egocentricity, where you think you're better than other people and the rules don't apply to you. So I think this is a very important thing. Beware of those statements about killing the ego. A healthy ego helps you be in the world in a positive way, and you don't go to jail. Now, being in the world but not of it means not of it. You accept the fact there's a dimension beyond this world. See, the world we live in is a relative world. It is known, there's multiplicity, there's me, there's Geethan, there's India, there's Berkeley, etc. There's business, there's psychology, multiplicity. And the key thing of everything in this relative world, because relative means there's relationships, like I'm having one right now with you. But the key thing to understand, which the Buddha taught very beautifully, is everything of this world is impermanent and constantly changing. And if we grasp and get attached to something that's always changing, we're going to suffer pain. It's okay to love and want and desire, but just don't be attached to your lollipops. That's very important. And so being not of the world means you're really accepting the fact there's something which I like to call the absolute. Or some people call it the divine, some people call it God, whatever the label is, there's this great mystery that we intuitively have a sense and are drawn to. And I think it's very important. I like to use the word mystery. I've never heard a preacher or a minister or an imam or a Vedanta teacher try to define the great mystery. All we can say is what it is not. It's called negative theology, but not in a bad sense. We can only speak of this great mystery in terms of what it is not. It is not a big bank account. Okay. Now, in the dualistic point of view, you can use a positive. Oh, by the way, this negative view, the technical term for that is apothetic. Now, in non-duality, spiritual traditions, like the Abrahamic traditions of Judaism, Christianity, Islam, for example, they're cataphatic, which means that you can give attributes. You hear people speak, God is powerful, God is love, God is this, God is that, but they never tell you what is it that has this power and this love, and is there even an it? This gets really tricky. But the spiritual dimensions and in the dualistic point of view, you can give attributes. And in my book, I apologize to my readers saying, you have to let me cheat a little bit because I have to use a dualistic language in order to talk to you about non-dualism.
Yeah.
So the language of non-dualism is silence, but I
Mhm.
like to talk, and I'm enjoying this very much, being with you this morning.
Thank you. So what I understand is being in the world is ability to engage with the world, uh,
Right.
and being off of it is not holding to what I'm engaging, but I'm allowing to engage in the flow, and so that I'm in sync with the life. If I hold, then it's suffering, because the impermanence we are holding and trying to make it permanent, and that's against the life. So it's fighting.
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
And not of it means you recognize another dimension.
Yeah, okay. There is another dimension.
That's very important to
Uh-huh.
add to what you said. I agree with, but just add that one more
Yeah,
thing.
one more dimension.
Because
Yeah.
not of it is really, it's a positive statement. When you say I'm not of just the world, you're saying I have this feeling about something else.
Yeah.